For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by RaceVerse.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil. Having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
Hello and welcome. I am Gary Gonzo, and welcome to RaceVerse coverage of round 2 of the Revolution Indy League's Schaeffer's IndyCar Series Summer 2022 season, coming to you from Barber Motorsports Park for the Grand Prix of Alabama. Joining me for expert analysis in the booth, he is the weekend editor at Jalopnik.com and co-host of the Motorsport 101 podcast. Please welcome Ryan Eric King. Ryan, week 2, it's our first road course of the season. Barber Motorsports Park is quickly becoming a favorite venue for real drivers and the virtual drivers as well. Why do you think that it is the case that everyone likes Barber?
Oh, it's sort of that thing people always talk about in terms of, well, say Formula 1 or IndyCar, where people talk about all the street circuits being flat and just right angle corners. This is the exact opposite. This is a roller coaster of fast sweeping corners. It is easy to see why drivers love it.
As you see, we are in open qualifying as we are about 10 minutes into 10 minutes remaining of the 15-minute open qualifying session. No elimination qualifying, elimination style like you see in Formula 1 and IndyCar. No fast 6, anything like that. It's we're going to have 33 spots. I believe there's 35 cars entered. So everyone a la carte. I guess we call it the was it open swim is what they call it during the summertime when we were kids at the swimming club at the swimming pool. But open swim right now. Massive, everybody in the pool.
Yeah, just everyone buying on the track. We still have just under 10 minutes left. And it seems like at the back of the field, it's more of a question of, can I get a clean lap?
Yeah, if it's just 33 here, it might be worth your time just to sit it out, but there's not. So you got to make sure that you get a banker lap in, as they talk about here. And we'll show you an idea of what the traffic looks like out here. Here is the, let's see, the track map will come up for us. Boom, there it is. And all those little white dots you see moving right there, looking like ants going through a little colony there, that is a car on the racetrack. Every sector is full right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much just go out there, put in a banker lap in traffic, just do what you can. And then, you know, you try to maybe find a quiet second or two, just a quiet piece of track for yourself to really push forward.
A lot of confusion out there, folks trying to get that lap in. Nate Seifert, who almost won the championship last year, of course, is on the pole provisionally with a 108.130. Bruno Miranda and that Yugos Hollinger eSport entry right there at the 108.146. Christopher Hill with a 108.581. Wes Shire with a 108.613. And a newcomer, Nate Gruselski. Hopefully I'm saying Fuller, a fellow Polak's name correctly there. Just moved himself up to P3 with a 108.415. So that is your top 5 at the moment. We still have plenty of time left. Right now, no one is on the bubble. Matt Webb is P32 at the moment with a 115.237. Probably looking for some running space that he can use to maximize that time right now. Still yet to take the track, Maxon Obenauer, Aaron Moss, Joseph DeCidro, Caleb Morrissey. See if any one of them takes the track and tries to get that 33rd spot.
Yeah, just any lap time will be good enough to get them in at the moment.
Right. Well, you know, even if 34 or 35 don't take a lap time, and you know, I think even if 32 qualify, 33rd would get in with the highest I rating. Okay. I think that's what it would be. There is Matt Webb right there in the Hot Wheels car. And there is Caleb Morrissey right there in the Channel Lock car, looking to get a lap in here, coming through the chicanes on 7, 8, and 9. A lot of times cars just try to cut that whole area.
Yeah, and like especially here in qualifying, when you're more focused on putting the fastest lap time possible in, is that your viewing position in these cars, you're pretty much lying on your back on the track. You're seated so low that most of these corners are blind. You're just going full pelt through these corners, hoping on the other side it's clear and no one's spotted. Because
now I want to see that car sideways right in front of you as you come down that downhill left-hander.
Yeah, you're just going through. You see where people are on the relative, but you don't see where they are on the track. So you see someone stop, you're like, I hope they're offline. I hope they're offline.
Yeah. Let's get a little bit of IndyCar history out of the way here at Barber. The track record of Barber, relatively new. It's held by Pato Award, set in 2021 with a speed of 125.744 miles per hour around here. That's pretty fast. The career IndyCar wins leaders here at Barber, Joseph Newgarden. Bet you probably wanted to guess that one. He has 3. Will Power, Ryan Hunter-Ray both have 2. Again, this is quickly becoming IndyCar's home of the South, kind of. Not too far away. The facility's not too far away from Talladega. It's about halfway to Talladega. If you draw a line between Talladega and Birmingham, this right in the middle is about where Barber Motorsports Park is. It is the Augusta National of the circuit. Everyone always raves about how well the grounds are kept.
Yeah, and it's at this point, I'm so used to seeing IndyCars around here that it's easy to forget that this is built as a motorcycle track. Like 7 years before IndyCar came here, you know, AMA Superbike were the first series to race here.
Well, remember, motorcycles were among the first to race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, too, so a trend. They haven't had the balloon race yet.
Oh, can't wait for the Barber balloon race.
About 4 minutes left. We'll go over the top 10 one more time. It has changed a little bit. Bruno Miranda now provisionally on pole with a 108.1. Schaeffer with a 108.130. So very close there for the top spot. Nicholas Johnson, I was telling Ryan in the pre-show, watch him, 108.352. Nate Grusalski, 108.415. Christopher Hill, 108.581. Hunter Engrave, 108.545. Dan Neese, 108.561. Wes Shire with a 108.613. Matt Houston, the boss man, with a 108.840. And teammate Dakota DeMade, not teammate, but teammate, Dakota DeMade, 108.984. That rounds out your top 10. Joshua Tucker looking pretty stout with a top 11 right there. But Logan Spath with a P12. JJ Wang with a P13. Of course, he seems to hover with a green car around the 13th spot an awful lot.
Well, being 13th out of 33 ain't bad.
No, actually, today that's pretty darn good. James Watson, who we just saw spin there, is in the 14th spot. Will Weisbrod, the third. Old World War III is in the top 15 at P15. Justin Miller, the Oval Master, giving it a shot on the road course with a pretty good P16 at the moment. Ryan Freeman, 17th. Matthew Johnston, P18, Derek Smith, P19, and Kyle Grishich, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, P20, excuse me. We still have 34 cars have taken time. Right now on the bubble is Caleb Morrissey with a 112.136. Matt Webb is the first car out, currently still has a shot. It's got 2 minutes, 14 seconds. That's about enough time to do maybe 2 laps around here. Certainly to get a flyer and get a green and then try to do your banker. But Matt Webb is on the bubble in 34th with a 1:14.621 or 6:12. So he's going to have to try to find 2 seconds or so to get Caleb Morrissey for P33 in order to start this race shotgun on the field.
Yeah, and just a couple moments ago, Nate Seifert lost it on the last corner, coming to the line, looking like he was going for, you know, a real push lap at pole.
Currently watching right now, Jonathan Liberatore, who's currently in P22 with a 109.821.
Oh, it's chaos there.
It is chaos all over the place. We're just letting the auto director go at it with the most exciting portion, whatever on track. It is going to focus in on that.
Okay, so 34 cars are set a time. The time to get in is 1:12.136.
Now we're watching one of those cars trying to battle their way in right now. Matt Cosgrove, he is taken to the racetrack. He's got a set of the alternate tires on, but man, he is just buried in traffic right now at the moment. Right in front of him, he's being boxed in by a car in front and a car behind. So we'll see if he is able to get a good time in. That takes him up to 34, so not quite good enough, but he's the first car out. There's Drew White, the Oval Meister, one of them that we have here in the league. He's P24. Jeremy Lepanis right there. He is in P29, safely in this field. That's Hunter Engrave in the Lamborghini car there, P6. He is solidly in this field. That is not an access road there, Drew. Okay. A minute 30 left here in qualifying.
Yeah, minute 30 to get the laps in that you're on. The checkered flag has been waved.
JJ Wang went into the turn 2 wall. He was flying. Matthew Webb trying to put a banker in right there. Right behind him, Joseph Isidro.
Cosgrove with the buzzer beater.
Where did Cosgrove go?
He qualified 29th.
Nice. Very solidly in the field. I think we are going to have some penalties that are going to have to be served. Let's go over those really quick. Race control. Okay. So Isidro does have an EOL for this race. So we're currently watching him right now. So he will get an end of line. He might have an option to start in the pits. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I do not think we have anyone else in the lineup that has a penalty. No, that's it. Just Isidro from his lap 109 incident with Nate Seifert last week, resulting in an EOL for today. And that is it. Time is up. And we'll see if we start gritting up here momentarily for today's race. And we are going to grid up, and we are going to have the full pace lap here at Barber Motorsports Park. But before we get into any of the action here, hey Ryan, would it surprise you that half of everyone watching tonight right now have not subscribed to this channel?
Oh, not at all, but they really should be.
There you go. You see the image right there in front of you. Currently not subscribed. 50.9% of you are not subscribers. So let's change that right now. Help us on our drive to 1,000 subscribers. If you enjoy Race First coverage of the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar series and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. We have less than 200 subscribers to go to get to the magical 1,000 mark. So help us by hitting that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. And just all you have to do is just like this. Bing, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss out on more future Race First iRacing broadcasts. So let's get into it in Barber with tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, Bruno Miranda with a 1:08.1. Nate Seifert P2. Nicholas Johnson P3. Newcomer, Nate Gruzelski. And I hope I'm saying that right again. I don't want to let my fellow Pollock down. P4. Christopher Hill P5. Hunter Ingrave with a P6. Lining up 7th, Dan Neath. Lining up 8th, Wes Shire. P9, Dakota DeMaid. P10th, the boss man, Matt Houston. Logan Spaeth, P11, good run for him. Joshua Tucker, a good run for him in P12. Starting 13th still, JJ Wang. We'll see how he progresses from there. Justin Miller, P14. James Watson, P15, as we see a car there at the end trying to get out of the way. I believe that's a Isidro. He's going to have an EOL. He'll float to the back. Shane Coogan, P16. Ryan Freeman, 17th. And World War III, 18th. Matthew Johnston, 19th. Derek Smith, 20th. Cairo Gershich, hope I'm saying that right, 21st. Jonathan Liebertor, 22nd. Christian Jasper back in the 23rd spot. Drew White, the Oval Master, trying to make his way up from the 24th spot. Dan Marrero with a great top 10 finish last week, lining up 25th. Nicholas Isidro with the EOL qualifies 26th, but he goes to the end of the line. Christopher Kresge, 27th. Peter Donchak, 28th. Matt Cosgrove, he got her in with a 29th. And Jeremy Lepanis with a 30th. Ben Carswell is 31st. Aaron Moss, 32nd. And Dan Miglin sneaks it in at 33rd with a time of 1:11.232. First out, Caleb Morrissey, Matt Webb, and Maxon Obenauer are your DNQs for today's race.
Just that feeling of impending dread as you see 33 cars around this facility.
I know, it's 33 cars different. It's different when you see 33 cars barreling into turn 1 at Indianapolis, but 33 cars barreling into a I don't know how fast they're going and how fast and how slow they have to get down to get into turn 1. But Nate Seiffert's got himself a good looking paint job, kind of reminiscent of some of those Menard entries back in the day. But I don't know how fast, what the difference of speed is between top speed and then slow speed going into turn 1, but everybody's got to pile through turn 1, and that is just going to be absolute chaos. And the thing is, I think everybody is currently on the racetrack. I don't think we have anyone starting from the pits. And to be honest, I would say starting from the pits is probably not a bad strategy.
Yeah, not a bad strategy, because no one on the track is James Bond. You only live once.
And there's no fast repairs. Here we go. Miranda's bringing them down really, really slow. They are bunching up. Starting to get a little bit of accordion effect going on, and here we go. Nate Seifert down to the apron. Seifert gets the jump on Miranda. I think just about everyone made it through turn 1. Jonathan,
wow.
Peter, I've seen a couple cars getting past here, but I think everyone made it through cleanly through turn 1. Not through not into turn 5. Not turn 5. We got some cars back there. Christopher Hill getting passed by Nate Seifert. There we go. Or Nicholas Johnson, excuse me. Will Weisbrod in trouble. He is currently in the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 complex down there near the chicane, and he is trying to get back in line, and he just toes. Bruno Miranda off at the top of the hill. He's back underway, but he is in the middle of traffic.
It seems like after the first lap incidents, we have a field split, so to speak.
Well, I want to see what happened to okay, so he's side by side with Seifert, and we had a little bit of contact. I don't think it's anything malicious, but there was some wheel banging going on there, and that is going to lose him some major track position. Your leader right now is Nate Seifert. So what we're looking at for stints today, definitely a one-stopper. That's all we're going to see today is a one-stopper. It could go 21-24, 24-21. You do have to change your compounds, but other than that, that is your only requirement. So I would assume the shorter stint will be on the alternate tires. The longer stint will be on the prime tires. The difference between the two, if you're not new or if you're new to IndyCar racing, let's take a look here at our leader, Nate Seifert. The black sidewall tires there, that is the prime tire, the harder compound tire, lasts longer, more durable. Car right behind him, Nate, he is going to want to get by because he is on the alternate tire, the softer compound tire, the faster tire. He will want to get around him and try his best to pull away and build up that delta. Got a good battle coming back here. Dan Neese in the battle for 5th currently with Christopher Hill. He pulls that off, and that puts a puts a block on him. That looked like a block from my point of view, but maybe not. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. But that's a Team Supreme there working their way up to P4. Nicholas Johnson up 3 spots currently. Actually, not up 3 spots. Currently where he started, but he is in the 3rd spot. Side by side is for a battle for the lead. Here is Nate pulling it off. Ooh. Nate gets the lead, and he just muscles on by. And now we get to see if he's going to pull away with those alternate tires on.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna want. You wanna use the reds while they still have life, pull a gap, try to make the pit stop delta not as painful as it would be.
Just saw a car on pit road. I'm not sure who it is. Jonathan Libertor is on pit road. We got a number of cars on pit road right now. Will Ricebrud looks like he has an extended stop. Joshua Tucker, the great start, did not turn into a good finish or a bad start. Great start, but a bad finish to the day. Derek Smith currently showing in the pits as well. Jonathan Libertor in the pits. He is pulling out right now, so he got some repair done. Shane Coogan had to go take a stop in the pits. He is back, the 29 car in 29th spot, but he is by himself. He's still going to have to make another stop, but he doesn't have to worry about changing compounds anymore if he doesn't want to. So it slightly changes his strategy and how he wants to proceed, but he's back in 29th. Here is Kyle. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He is currently back in 28th. He is had to make a pit stop. Looks like he had a little damage that got repaired. Last car who did not start had to make a pit stop is Christopher Kresge right there, and he has a flapping side pod. So I don't know if he's going to... I'm surprised that hasn't got the meatball. He has more than a flapping side pod. He's a one-winged angel right now. He has no left, right front wing, as well as a flapping side pod. So we'll see... well, the side pod has snapped itself back into place, so that is some great engineering there on Delara's part. So we'll see if he needs to make a stop or not. If it's just the wing, he does not need to make a stop. If it's going to be more than, well, there it goes again, popped off. We'll see if that's going to require a stop on his part or not. I believe we did have a couple cars make a start from the pits. Christian Jasper, I believe, made a start from the pits. Oh, we got a couple cars back in the hairpin that are... and Kresge's not going to stop that time by. But, yeah, Christian Jasper, I believe, started on pit road. I thought everyone was rolling, but showing him with already a little pit time on pit road. And that's a 12, normally it's like a 10-second penalty with the green flag, and then you roll down pit road. And so that's about 12 seconds on pit road he rolled down. So that seems about right for starting from pit road. And that has worked his way already up 4 positions higher than where he qualified provisionally. So good on him as making his way as best he can safely as we are 6 laps in. Let's bring up the ticker here and show you current situation up front. We're on lap 6 of 45. If you are just joining us, this is Race First coverage of the RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, coming to you from Barber Motorsports Park, where we have completed lap 6 of 45 laps. If you're enjoying Race First coverage tonight's race, make sure you support the channel by liking tonight's broadcast. Share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you're notified on future RIL events. You can do all that right now while we're in the middle of broadcasting.
So, yeah, the battle between the Nates, Grzelski's just a little more than a second ahead of Schaeffer. And obviously there is an advantage with the Reds, but it doesn't seem like that insurmountable of an advantage.
Well, we already know firsthand how aggressive Nate Seifert is on the road course, so I don't really think that Nate G is going to pull away and leave Nate S into the dust as much as maybe he thinks is going to happen. We shall see here, though, as he's only had the lead for a handful of laps and has managed to build up about a second lead as he passes the wounded car of Christopher Kresge.
Oh, and he seemed to have passed him at the most opportune moment, because now we're going through these series of corners near the end of the lap.
And there's traffic all over the place on this track right now. There's not very many open spots that don't have a car on it right now. About the most open area is where 29th Jonathan Libertor is currently. He has basically the entire north portion of the racetrack to himself at the moment. Logan Spath is, looks like he is out. He is in 30th position. Still a number of cars on pit road. Here's Derek Smith. Looks like he had an extended stop, but he is back underway, 31st. Joshua Tucker still on pit road, while Weisbrod still on pit road under extended stops there. I believe they are done. They're out of their cars.
Okay. But yeah, this is certainly reminiscent of, say, sports car racing, where dealing with traffic is a large portion of whether you're talented or not.
Leaders trying to work their way around P27 Shane Coogan, who gets out of the way very gentlemanly like. Congratulations to Shane for his win in the Lionheart Speedway Series at Michigan.
Yeah, we were both in that race earlier this week.
I wasn't in it long enough.
Same here.
Currently watching Nicholas Johnston, who was one of your top 5 finishers in the championship last year. Got a great start to this season already, and he has worked his way up into the top 5 here at Barber. Hey, let's give a shout out to our man Dakota. He is there P6, and he is cruising. He is up 3 spots, well into the top 10. Right behind him is Hunter Ingrave in the Lamborghini Dallara. That sounds weird, but he's currently P7. Right behind him is the boss man, is Matt Houston. Ingrave looking to make a pass here on Dakota, going into the hairpin. Manages to pull it off. He can now start taking a look and taking chunks out of the lead Christopher Hill has over this duo at the moment.
Though the group of cars who are currently, say, 12th through 16th, really impressive. Well, 13th through 16th, really impressive to gain more than 10 spots at the start here.
Yeah, let's give these guys a shout out. Let's take a look here at the first one. Drew White, the oval specialist. He is up 11 spots to 13th. Right behind him, Nicholas Isidro. Remember, he had the EOL this thing. He is up 12 spots. Now, that is 12 spots from his qualified position. He had to go all the way to the back, past 33rd. He is up to 14th. So do the math on that one. Dan Morera, who finished in the top 10 last week. Like I said, I called him out last week with a positive. Oh, here comes Christian Jasper looking to the inside. Again, Christian Jasper made the strategic call to start on pit road, and it seems to be paying off. He is currently battling with Morera. We're going to go 3 wide. It's Ben Carswell now. He's going to take a 3 wide into 1, fellas. And, yeah, you know what? I think maybe Miranda or maybe Morera decided, I'm going to break out of this one a little bit. Kind of disrupts that situation there. Jasper just went ahead and ARCA braked it, kept it going. But this is an interesting battle back here. This is Morera, Carswell, and LaPana, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Also coming into the picture, 19th, James Watson. Let's keep the camera action here because Morera up, now down, only up 8 spots now, but he was up 10 a moment ago. Lapanis up 12. Aaron Moss up 11. Remember, Aaron Moss, I believe, finished shotgun on the field, or started shotgun on the field last week, and he managed to work his way up into the top 10 at a very interesting Kentucky race. So we know he can pass a lot of people, but watching a battle right now, we'll go back a position here between Lapanis and James Watson. This is a battle for 18th. Oh, car getting squirrely back there. That might have been Aaron Moss. He recovers, but he's going to lose a position to Matthew Johnston. We see a Go Bruno in chat. Just to point out, Bruno Miranda, there he is. We just saw him making a pass on timing and scoring of the boss man. He is now up to 8th, has recovered all of that lost track position that he had when he had that off very early on, battling for the lead. Dan Miglin had an off. He is currently showing in the pits on a tow. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe go back and take a look here. Oh, okay. He is in the... Oh, wow. He was with the leader. Oh! And there might have been contact with the leader. This needs to involve some a closer look. This is going into the final set of corners right before pit road entrance. Let's take a look here. There was contact. Now, how bad of a contact and how much damage is on Nate's car, we will find out here shortly. But very interesting. In situations like that, do you use the radio and let the guy know that I'm coming, give me some room?
Oh, without a doubt. Especially when you're in your position in the lead with a decent gap to the cars behind you. You don't want to be held up, and you especially don't want to be involved in unnecessary contact.
That one probably will be reviewed by stewards. So we're looking at a good 5-car breakaway up front here between Nate G, Nate S, Dan Neese, very quietly up into the 3rd position, Nicholas Johnston into the 4th spot, Christopher Hill into the 5th spot. A little bit further on back with some lap traffic between himself and the lead group is Hunter Ingrave. Dakota DeMade in P7, Bruno Miranda hustling it back up to the front here and keep P8. That is the boss man, Matt Houston. JJ Wang has worked his way up to the top 10. Justin Miller is just on the outside of the top 10. Ryan Freeman right there. He has worked his way up to 12th. Drew White up to 13th. Nicholas Isidro up to 15th. Christian Jasper up to 14th. Those are some of your, that's pretty much a top 10 or top 15 right there, but everyone is really just big movers going on at the moment. I think Shane Coogan just retired, so we now show 29 cars on the track currently. Derek Smith is the last of those. Still showing Dan Miglin under repair on pit road. Jonathan Libertor, 27th. Peter Donchek, right there in the green car. He is the first car, last car on lead lap. Here are the leaders.
It seems like we're going to be in a situation where this is definitely going to be a race-long battle unless something happens.
Nate has the purple lap. That's Nate G with a 108.796. Donchak stay way out of the way and got it off, kept it off everyone else. But by the virtue of being a nice guy, pretty much cost himself some valuable track time. We are about 5 laps away from the earliest that we might see cars pit for scheduled stops. We're only looking at 1 stop to get to the end today. Been told that stints are going to be pretty straightforward. 21 to 24 or 24 to 21. Chances are Nate G here, he's on a 21-lap stint because we'll see him get off those alternate tires onto the black sidewall prime tires. And then we'll probably see Schaeffer do the longer run, go to 24, and then come into the pits and switch to the... Oh, we got cars on sideways on the front straight, started by James Watson. So we're not sure what happened there. We'll take a look here real quick. Going to be multiple cars involved, I believe. So yeah, just coming through the end of the track there, bypassing pit road, just turns in, gets loose. And there's already parts from something else unrelated on pit road, so not sure from what that was from. And then he gets beached. Yeah, he gets beached on the grass there. So let's get back in front. Oh, Kresge off trying to avoid staying out of the leader's way there.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, this
Drew White is struggling right now. He is has a wobbly wheel and no front nose at the moment. He was up near the top 10, and he is going to have to hit pit road and repair that. So a tough day for the oval specialist, who was looking so good on the road course at the moment.
But yeah, like I said earlier, this track was initially designed for motorcycles. This is not a wide road course.
No, not at all. Nate G is still your leader. So we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Let's go ahead and do a, we've seen a lot. Ooh, we see a battle right here between Nice and Johnston going into the hairpin. Let's want to watch that closer. And let's also give you a push to pass update. So first oval of the season that we had last week. Of course, we don't use push to pass as they did in the older days of IndyCar on the ovals. Push to pass is only used on the road courses and in modern day IndyCar racing. It's interesting. I heard them once say that the push to pass is an on-off feature. Oh, Aaron Moss, but the leader's right behind him. Oh, that was tough. That was tight. That it was an on-off feature. So if I'm pushing the push to pass button, then I'm getting the extra horsepower. The second I take my finger off the button, the horsepower stops. Then I hear this week when they were at Road America, they push the button, they get it in 20-second bursts. Well,
yes.
20-second bursts is how these cars actually do it in sim. So if that's the case, then they are mirroring what we see in sim. Side by side, Johnston and Nice going into the hairpin. Johnston is not quite going to have that position, but Nice is struggling with those red sidewall tires.
Yeah, because the idea with the 20-second burst is that there is no road course on the current IndyCar schedule where there's a straight longer than 20 seconds.
So the push to pass gives you an added bit of horsepower at the expense of fuel mileage. Now, people tend to forget about that. It will chew into your fuel mileage a little bit more than it would without using the button. It makes sense, right? Here's Christopher Hill looking at the inside there of Dan Nice, who now is, like I said, really struggling with those red sidewall tires. He's probably about 2 laps away from hitting pit road, and he's probably going to want to hit that. He's in a good position to hit pit road. Dan Nice. Oh, do we have a little contact?
But yeah, it makes sense that the push to pass raises your fuel consumption, because the way you get that extra power is it slightly
Yes, we did have contact. Limiter. Yep.
Because it makes sense, because it's slightly.
Oh, Dan Nice is on pit road. What happened while we were watching replay? Something happened with Dan Nice and we're watching. Oh, and it was between him and we missed it all. We were sitting there talking. Okay, so let's get back into it. Let's watch this more. This is just after replay. Dan Nice and Christopher Hill. Oh, Christopher Hill just gets into the back of Nice. Let's maybe watch that again. He just, I think Nice might have had some wheel spin or something coming up the hill and just didn't have the the traction, and then
there's nowhere to go.
Right into him. Man, I almost say it's one of those racing deals. I don't know. We'll let race control make a ruling on that, but Christopher Hill is still going, but he's now down to 10th. So now we're going to look for our leader, Nate, who has started lap 21, Nate G. That's Gruselski, newcomer to the series. Welcome all the new participants. Appreciate them showing up. As free fixed leagues go, this is probably one of the best out there. The strength of field, even for this race, is 1.8, which is pretty decent for a league race with no minimum requirement. So in the front here, Nate G looking through the final portions. Is he going to make that? No, he is going to go long on the red tires. He must have faith in these things. And Seifert, I don't know. Well, he's going to do the bit of a fade down the front straight to defend. But Seifert, I thought was going to tuck in behind, maybe work on some fuel mileage. But no, Seifert wants to attack. But now we got a 3-car battle right up at the front now, as working his way into the picture is Nicholas Johnston.
Yeah, because this is where the theoretical crossover point is. I could understand why Schaeffer want to attack, because you are just giving Gruselski an advantage by having him out in front.
All right, so we want to review the field, and we want to let them know the Bruno fan club. Your man is now worked his way up to P4 after having that off very early. He has worked his way up to P4. He is a little ways behind the battle for the leaders. So he might have to eat into that with talent as well as maybe some pit strategy. But he is 13 seconds behind the battle for first, second, and third there between the Nates and then Johnston. So Miranda is P4. Ingrave is P5. Dakota the Maid here, we see him right there, is in P6. Justin Miller, the man has worked his way up into the top 10 now. He is currently P7, very quietly working on a great day. Ryan Freeman currently in P8 right there in that 066 car. JJ Wang, he has worked his way into the top 10. He is currently P9, and right there the last car on the in the top 10 is Matt Houston. And then Christian Jasper, after starting on pit road, we believe, has worked his way up to 11th. Nicholas Isidro, who has started with that EOL, he's already up 14 spots from where he qualified. Well, that's from where he qualified. He also had to fall to the end past 33. So, again, do the math. He is up 20-plus spots.
Leaders are in.
Leaders
Both
are
of them
on pit
are in at the
road.
same time.
Both on same time. So let's see what type of strategy they are going to alter here for this race to the finish. Because once they pit, they are good to go to the end. Miranda on pit road. Ingrave on pit road. Okay, red tires are going on Seifert. Oh! And Nate G goes to the prime tires, and he manages to get out ahead and pretty handily. Nate Seifert, and even puts a little bit of a tiny bit of cushion on him, as these guys now are going to fight to get their tires up to temperature. But the thing is here, Nate Seifert's got to attack, because he needs to get by. The timer's running, and the timer's immediately ticking down now for the degrading of his tires versus that of his chief rival there on position on the racetrack for Gruselski, excuse me. Currently, your leader right now is Nicholas Johnson, who is on pit road. We'll get a look at his car. Also on pit road with him is Isidro. and Cosgrove. Looks like they are done with their stops. Johnston looks like he is going to go to stay on the prime tires. Is he supposed to change? Maybe we missed that one. But he is out. He is side by side. He comes out side by side with Nate G, and he is going to slot in behind G, and as he's in front of S. Oh, 3 wide into the hairpin.
Oh, this is gonna be Seifert's best chance.
They're coming down into turn 7 now, where they're Don't lose your nose. All eyes on the racetrack for this current battle between first, second, and third. Ruselski, Johnston, Seifert right there. There's side-by-side action going down into the pit straight here. I tell you what, Nate G's got to see this action behind him, and he's got to go, you know what, let's just pull away. Let's get out of here. Let's check out.
Yeah, without a doubt, especially if Seifert can't get by Johnston on a set of reds. It's pretty much, good to go for Gruselski. Just hold tight, keep putting the laps in, and you should get this win. But I say should, because things don't always play out like they do.
And we got lap traffic that's starting to get in. I believe that's Ben Carswell, who is in the yellow submarine. Who is the first car on the last car on the lead lap, so he'll be the first car on a lap down here momentarily if the leaders get around him. He's going to stay wide, yes, and he's going to let him go. But well, here we go. Seifert side by side with Johnston coming through the final corner. Now they're going to go side by side with the leader going through into the final corner. Oh, Johnston cuts off Seifert. We're up in the race first 1 airship here, as we'll give you a good high eye above the racetrack. See if we're looking at the inside, going into the hairpins, fully sending it. Going to get side by side.
Like he's going to get the traction.
He's going to have the position now. Is he going to have the traction? Because the next corner is going to favor. No! He contacts! And that's going to put Johnson into the lead. Oh man, I hate playing judge and jury on this one, but I'm laying that at the feet of Seifert, I think, on that one.
Yeah, he just attacked that corner too hot, and he just bounced off the curb.
I mean, the timer is running when you do have the red tires on. And we should probably go back and take another look at that. That is going to be a key moment of this race, and that's probably going to live into the post-race activities of what we're going to see here. But let's get into the roll bar of Seifert. And he was wanting this position. Clearly, if you look at his pie dash here on his dashboard here, he's coming out of the hairpin. And bam, he is on the button. There it is. You see the green highlight there on the LED readout of his Pyre dashboard, and he goes wide and he just pops the corner and he gets right into the leader, and the poor leader, the innocent bystander.
Yeah, because if you go in and you attack, the complex 9 that aggressively, the curbs here are concrete. They're high. They're unforgiving. They're unforgiven. You go over it and you lose all traction. There's no way that you can stop the car. You're going in.
Dan Meeglin says another Johnston Seifert classic. Well, that one ended early, unfortunately, Dan. Again, a lot of attrition. 33 cars started. We now have 23 left on the racetrack. Go back and look. Racing Reference is one of the better websites I like for historical information, because sometimes, well, surprise, surprise, Wiki's not always right.
Yeah, I tend to use Racing Reference or Forex, the Formula One or the Formula One Research Index.
26 cars started this year in the race in April. 26 cars have started this race 4 times, 2011, 2012, 2013, and then this year. We're right about the level that they normally race at here with 23. 23 started this race a couple times as well. 2014, 2015, 2018, 23 cars started. A lot of 23 car, a lot of 24 car, 25 car fields. So we're right about where they would start the race at. But we are 15 laps to the end now with Nicholas Johnston as your leader. He was one of the key players in last year's championship. Just a couple of DNFs here and there, a bad caution here and there, and that really cost him a couple key positions that would have helped out in the championship to possibly get him into that championship 3 that made that final race that we had last year at Homestead. But he is now your leader, and he is looking to put his stamp early in on this season. He had a good race at Kentucky, where he finished in the top 10. Currently is leading here with about 15 laps to go as he puts another lap down for Jonathan Liberatore. There are 13 cars on the lead lap. Matt Cosgrove, who's worked his way up from that 29th starting position, is in the 13th, and he's the last car lead lap. He's right there, that car right there in front of your leader coming into the hairpin.
Yeah, it still feels surreal seeing 33 cars go around here, because I think currently the limit that IndyCar imposes on most its races outside of the Indianapolis 500 is 28. And there were talks over last offseason about them reviewing the maximum and increasing it at certain venues in the interest that IndyCar was receiving in additional full-time entrants. That didn't really materialize as fully as the series had hoped.
Historically speaking, in IndyCar, typically there would be a number of venues that always would have a little bit extra at them. Of course, Indianapolis with the Indy-only entries. Now, Indy-only entries are not new, but the number of in the past, it used to be they were the teams that only competed in the 500-mile races. So they would be the teams that competed the Indy, then it would be Michigan / Ontario, and then Pocono, and then back in the day with those, and then later with California. But really, by the time California came into the picture, I don't think there were really any programs that ran the 500-mile races, and they went to California. I think it was strictly because of how costs were. It was just Indy only.
Because the way things were diverging. Once California was built, it was during the split, and the cost of running a kart team specifically for its most equipment-intensive events was just obscene.
And occasionally you would see a little extra, depending on how their teams finished and how they could extend the pay a little bit. You would see teams that finished well at Indianapolis that had Indy-only programs go to Milwaukee. You would see them tend to line up a little extra there. But that's really about where fields would ebb and flow. There's still a degree of it in IndyCar racing today. Of course, we see Tatiana. She only competes in certain races. I think the road course only, and then Hildebrandt will be on the ovals. Same thing with Ed Carpenter Racing, Carpenter on the ovals, and then they will. I guess they don't feel that extra entry for road courses now.
Yeah, though we are seeing, like, I think the interest in larger fields around full-time entries, and as it stands right now, next year we're gonna have 5 teams with 3 full-time cars.
And that is mainly a result of that these cars. I'm looking at Nicholas Isidro. He just went down a lap, but he is up to the 12th spot. These cars have been around for so long. Keep in mind, these are the DW12 cars. These were the same tubs and everything that debuted on or around 2012. They just have a different aero kit on them. It's the IR18 aero kit. And then of course the add-on to that aero kit is the windscreen. But there's no new car on the horizon. You have these teams that have all these extra spare cars and spare parts that they can put a car together. It's money to have these things sitting around doing nothing. Might as well put them on a racetrack and see if they can make you some income.
Yeah, without a doubt. And IndyCar looking at a new generation of car, but they've pushed it back due to supply issues, which I'm glad IndyCar is doing, because I don't want a situation like the NASCAR Next Gen car where there are not enough cars for the amount of interest. And at Gateway, they only had 36 entrants, and in a series where they're expecting 38, 40 entries full time, and you don't have enough cars, you don't want to be put in that situation.
Well, the thing that they're talking about with the I guess the new cars, I think they're talking about the new power plant, which is going to fit in this current iteration of car. And so these chassis probably have, how long do you think these chassis have left in them? Another 5 years, maybe 5 seasons or so?
Another 5 years.
Yeah.
From my sources in the series, the next car will be modular and phased in over time, so you'll see more and more bodywork change over time. And the idea is that effectively the big cars and lights will be on a common monocoque chassis that you could either scale up to IndyCar series or scale down to lights.
Interesting.
Yeah, so lower the costs, make it possible for not just drivers to move up and down between lights and Indy cars, but teams themselves.
Very, very interesting that you can have a car that's like you said, flexible, modular, that you could race it in Indy lights and then slap on a couple extra new parts, and then you can race it in the big series. Yeah, this tub and this chassis combination is going on, believe it or not, this is 10 years now.
I can't remember any iteration of IndyCar having a single car for this long.
When they went to the IRL, the 97 cars were meant to last like 2 or 3 seasons. And you own them, as well as the engines. And then they went to the IRO3, and that lasted 2 seasons, and then went to the IRO5. The IRO5 went all the way to 2011.
Yeah.
So that car, that third Indy car you see on the iRacing service, not the DW12, not this one, the IRO, they call it the IRO9 sometimes, or sometimes the IRO5, sometimes they call it the 2011 car. That car went basically 2005 to 2011, 6 years. That seemed like for a long time to have a car like that. But yeah, this is going to go on probably 10 years at least. Probably closer to 15 years that you'll see that the base tub, and we talk about the tub, we're not talking about the wings and the aero kit and everything, the tub where the driver sits, that portion right there, that portion of the race car is going to, in some of these cars, is beyond 10 years old, or at 10 years old.
Which is insane when you consider say, you know, Joseph Newgarden, who's been in the series for a decade now, this is the only tub he's ever driven.
Right, yeah, you could say that, yeah. Well, we're getting ready to see a battle here for third as Gruselski has caught up to Seifert, and I could imagine Gruselski is not very happy, and I would imagine Seifert wants to stay as fast as possible ahead of Gruselski, because I would imagine if an opportunity to pass comes and presents itself, it is elbows out.
It is elbows out, but it also could mean that Bruno Miranda could be looking at a surprise podium.
Now, I heard elbows out a lot in Formula One here lately. That is a basketball term. Here we go. Ooh, he turned in. He turned in. He let him know that he was wanting to get that corner turned in early.
Back to the scene of the initial accident.
Yeah. And they have some slower traffic, slightly slower traffic right in front of them. The push-to-pass situation for your leader, Nicholas Johnson, has 5. 6 for Seifert. Gruselski has 3. 7 for Miranda. Hunter Ingrave, I don't know if he did a map a button or nothing, but he still has 10. Gruselski was just on the button in a weird spot. He's now down to 2. I don't know if his finger slipped and he actually hit the button, but he is down to 2 now. Justin Miller, who has worked his way up to 7th, has not hit the button yet either. But again, if you don't have to, you don't have to. There's you could now, just like Formula One, I think they wait a lap or 2 before you could start using push to pass as cautions come out. I think you can use push to pass right off the bat in IndyCar racing, but when full course cautions come out, I think they disable it for a lap. I could be wrong, but
yeah, it is 2 laps.
It is 2 laps, okay. But you could use it to attack. You can use it to defend. In IndyCar, it has that. You don't have to be a second and a half or whatever the minimum distance is to the car in front or behind you in order to use it. You can use it anytime. And they're getting around Matt Cosgrove there.
Yeah, in the Maverick livery.
Isidro, they're looking at Isidro again. We'll put him, I think, well, he's already a lap down. Of course, this is a battle for 2nd and 3rd. Isidro currently in 12th spot, up 14. Your biggest gainers are Cosgrove and Lepanis. They are up 16, along with Aaron Moss. He's up 16. While we got 6 to go, we should probably take a look through the field. But, man, this battle for 3rd and 2nd and 3rd. Joe, and you know what? Isidro was doing his damnedest to stay out of everyone's way right there, and he did everything right. And look who's creeping into this battle. Look back there. Look at that green and white black car right there. And it's Bruno Miranda. Bruno Fan Club, stand up. Will Zeller, how about we get some bump drafting going on? Well, we got some bump chicanery, I guess.
Yeah.
Miranda around Isidro. Miranda's worked his way up to the 4th spot after a early, I think it was a lap 2 incident.
Lucifer gets a little bit loose.
Here we go. Side by side into the final corner. He is going to have the position.
No, not quite.
He has the position for the next turn. Oh, this is excellent. This is some great racing. Miranda has nowhere to go, but he has the best seat in the house. And he works his way around, and I think he's going to pull away.
Bruno!
Oh, no! Here we go! More bumping! Bruno down! Bruno, there it is! There it is! There it is, Brazil! You're on the podium!
Oh, wow.
Wow!
Ooh, gotta catch my breath there.
Shall we call that the Brazilian cut?
The Nates just went wide, and Bruno just took the chance.
You know, he's in the toughest spot because you have to kind of predict where two other drivers are going to want to go. You know, if you're in a one-on-one battle, you just have to predict where the other guy goes. At a two-on-one, you're at the disadvantage because you got to rightly predict where those other two guys are going to. And he chose wisely.
He chose very wisely because they could have made contact. One of them could have just darted right back to the apex, and it could have been game over.
But it's not game over for Gruselski, as he dove right on into that hairpin, and Miranda is on the alternate tires, so those tires are pretty well spent by this point in time, whereas Gruselski's tires, they're not in their prime, but they still have a lot more mileage left in them than those red tires do. We should go through the top 10 real quick. We got 4 laps to go, and way up at the front is your leader, Nicholas Johnston, kind of just cruising now. He has himself a 13-second lead over the second, third, fourth combo there, Miranda, Grutelski, and Schaeffer. Hunter Ingram just kind of hung out all day in 5th place, and here he is. He's going to right now has really no one around him, but if he brings it home very safely, he will get himself a top 5. Dakota the Maid with a great road course effort on his part. P6, Justin Miller. I'm also saying the same thing about him. An awesome road course effort on his part. P7. He has a battle right now right behind him with Ryan Freeman, who is currently in P8. This is a battle for 7th. JJ Wang is at the very tail end of that battle. He's in P9. And Christian Jasper, a little bit behind all these guys, but he is clear of just about everybody at the moment. He is currently pretty much by himself in terms of no one attacking him. He has himself a solid P10. Boss man Matt Houston, well, let's take a look at him. There he is, just at the tail end of the straightaway there, making his turn onto the straight. He is now in 11th. And right behind him is your leader. So the boss man wanting to stay on the lead lap. Currently, there are 22 cars on the race course, still showing in the race. Showing 19 of them on the race course at the moment. Dan Morera, Ben Carswell, Wes Shire with extended stops at the moment that are still showing timer ticking. New recent race iRacing update to the IR18 that makes these things a little bit longer, a little bit tougher to repair in the pits than they used to be. I've been told that repairs that normally cost about a minute of your time now cost in the neighborhood of 5+ minutes now. So these cars have gone back to being running tanks to running little delicate teapots now.
Well, yeah, seems about accurate.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what they are, but it was fun seeing them be a little bit more stout. But right at the front here, Nicholas Johnston working his way around the turns 14, 15, and 16 onto the main straight. And I believe this will start the final lap. There it is, white flag by your flagman as he goes into turn 1 with not a soul around him. This is kind of just hit your marks. Very great race on him. He had some excitement early on, but since then has kind of driven away from it. He had a great pit stop that got him in the middle of the battle, and then the other two just kind of took each other out, and he drove away.
Yeah, like I said at the start, you only live once. You gotta make it to the end.
Oh, Justin Miller. Ryan Freeman had an issue. Might have been trying to attack Justin Miller there. He's trying to hang on to a top 10 there, but Justin Miller hangs on to his 7th position. Johnston through 12. The kink there into 13. Into the sweeper here in 14, 15. And he hit 16 and on his way home for his first win of the season in the Schaeffer IndyCar Series. It's Nicholas Johnston. And while he does his victory lap and everything, we really do got some bills to pay. We got some exciting action. Didn't get a chance to really do some ads, so let's do those real quick, and we'll be right back. We'll do a side-by-side.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, we're back. Thank you for Schaeffer's for getting their season-long sponsorship of the RIL and continued sponsorship. Watching Nicholas Johnston make his victory lap here at Barber Motorsports Park. And once again, if you're just joining us, it's all done. But the interviews and the partying, you're watching Race First coverage of round 2 of the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series, coming to you from Barber Motorsports Park, where Nicholas Johnston just won his first race of the season. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next RIL race. So, shall we go check out to see who is in the interview room? Nobody's in the interview room right now.
Oh, damn. I mean, probably the one thing that I love about covering real world racing is waiting in the press conference room after a race with where something controversial happens. Because normally it is a long wait.
That is the elephant in the room, and that's the first question. And when I interview people, I just go ahead and get right to it. I mean, just rip the Band-Aid off, because that's what everyone wants to hear about. I mean, okay, let's get an elephant in the room. Let's address the incident. So, and then they have to choose their words. Now, the European drivers are a little bit more vocal on when they're pissed off. The American drivers, when they're upset, then not as quite. A little bit more diplomatic. We'll see what comes of this, if anyone's going to pop in for an interview. Your top 3 right now, is we're waiting for anybody to pop in for an interview right now. Johnson gets the win. Bruno Miranda, there you go, Brazil. Great recovery on his part. And if he is, or his translator pop in, would love to speak with him and get his thoughts on his recovery. There is Nate Johnson. We see him pop in. Nate Gruselski, he finishes 3rd on a podium his first race, so he gets the pole, I believe, his first race in the series, and he also gets the purple lap, but I'm pretty sure that he wanted those 1 or 2 extra positions to make your RIL debut and get the win as well. I do not see anybody else at the moment. So let's go ahead and bring in here Nicholas. But what I would like to do is get his car on the screen here so we can and that way we can take a look at that while there we go, while we interview him. Okay, so we see Bruno Miranda is in here. Let's bring in Nick Johnson first, since he's been waiting here longest, bringing him back up. Hey, Nick, we got you here in the booth. We were just kind of joking about it in the booth here. We always want to address the elephant in the room first, especially as Ryan was saying, as a motorsport journalist. But your view of the incident that eventually gave you the lead and the win.
Well, it all started lap 1, really, Gary's when I didn't get the best of starts and kind of ended up back in the pack. And from there, I knew it was an easy one-stop race, so I wanted to save enough fuel to go that extra lap.
Yeah.
And I was able to push hard on that extra lap and use some push to pass, and I came out right in between.
You did?
The Nates. So from there, I knew I had a tire advantage over the 33 and a lap advantage over the 2. I just needed to hold the 2 off long enough for my tires to warm up. And Nate was putting a ton of pressure on me in the 2 car. He was really, really aggressive, and he really wanted to get by. And I knew if I could hold him off until my tires were warmed up, I just had to figure out a way to get by the 33, and we'd be good to go. And basically, we went in there side by side, and we put ourselves in positions to where neither one of us was really going to let up. And I felt like I let up to give him enough room. I didn't even look at the replay, dumb of me, but
well,
I just kind of
to give a quick refresher to everyone watching that it was the run past 4, down that back straight, so to speak, on lap 27. You position yourself to be on the inside of the corner, and Schaeffer's on the outside, and heading into that complex in the 9. You don't really want to be on the outside.
Yeah, as desperate he was to get by there those last couple laps, I knew I'd passed people on the outside in the hairpin all night, so I knew I could hold my own out there and have the preferred line into the corkscrew area. And I just kind of put him in a bad situation, and he went for it, and that's kind of what happened. And it sucks. I'd rather race those guys straight up for the win, but I mean, if they're gonna go off track for me, I'll take that too.
Well, like I said, the easiest passes made are the ones where they're either in the kitty litter or on pit road. So you're off to a great start. I know last season when we talked a couple times, you were like, man, just 1 or 2 races, and or you were part of an incident that wasn't your fault, or made a miscalculation, and that pretty much kept you out of the final 3 going into that final championship race. Now it's a little bit different this time. You're the leaders, Gavin and Caleb, did not grid up today. They're going to use this as their drop week. You capitalize after a strong finish at Kentucky. So we now move to The Rock, which is going to probably be a place because it's going to be interesting for everybody who drives an IndyCar, because that is not a traditional IndyCar site. But you got yourself in a good spot, and you capitalized the best going into this race.
Yeah, I knew going into this season I needed to probably step back a notch on the ovals at least, and then on the road courses kind of let these races come to me. Because I know I have the pace, it's just battling with some of these guys who really want to be ahead at certain points, just kind of letting them go and running them back down later when they burnt their tires up. It's kind of what I did tonight. So I think if I just be a little bit more consistent, rack up the wins when I can, and take a good points finish when I'm not going to win, we'll be looking pretty good here at the end of the championship.
Shout outs, hellos, anybody you want to say hi to while we got you here for the win?
First off, thanks to you guys for broadcasting this week in and week out, for friends and family and whoever else to watch. It's really cool. Really enjoyed doing this. The Revolution Indy League for putting all this on, giving us something fun to do on our Wednesday nights. It's really enjoyable. They do a really great job. And if anyone's watching from SKL or my girlfriend out there, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations on the win, and we will see you at The Rock.
Oh, joy.
Get your practice in, I know. Talk to you later.
See you.
All right. We do have Bruno Miranda here, and I don't know if this is his translator or not that's with him. So we're going to bring up Bruno, and if it's his translator, we'll bring him up too, but we'll see. Hey, Bruno, can you hear us?
Yes.
Is the other person waiting for the interview? Is that your translator?
Yes, the maximum.
Okay, we'll bring him up. Okay, we have Bruno's translator here with us as well. The first thing we would probably like to talk about is obviously what happened to you right at the beginning. What happened on your off there, and what were your initial thoughts, and how did you get yourself back in a position where you could be on any step of the podium?
Preguntan que
Não,
Que te-
problema não. Já,
Ok.
entendi. Então, no início da carreira, acabei não largando tão bem, não dei um bom start e, e acabei indo para segundo. Então, como eu estava com pneus vermelhos, estava mais rápido que Nate e quase quer traduzir?
Yeah. I didn't have a really good start at the beginning. I was with the soft tires, and so I was quicker than the other guys. But yeah, I didn't have a really good start.
E quando eu fui para passar Nate, acabei me chocando na curva rápida da subida.
Then at the first corner, I had a crash, which sent me to the back of the grid.
E aí acabei caindo para a 20ª posição. Então vim tentando fazer uma carreira de recuperação e acabando dando tudo certo, apesar da difícil ultrapassagem em Barber.
And then I tried to stay calm and make a safe race and start to gain positions again. And well, it did end well, so I'm lucky.
Go ahead, Ryan. You got a question for Bruno?
Yeah, I probably have to ask about the move. To me, the move of the race. Lap 41, you behind both the Nates, going into turn 5. The Nates go wide, and you sweep up the inside and get both positions. What were you thinking in that moment?
Meu medo era bater, apesar depois da carreira de recuperação, bater e acabar a corrida, faltando 5 ou 4 voltas para o fim. Só eu estava com muito medo de bater e acabou que no final o Nate acabou errando a freada e consegui passar os dois.
I was really scared to end up my race there because I was doing a really good job during the whole race after recovering, and well, at the end I managed to take the position.
So lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it was really impressive to actually go through with the move instead of just letting it play out in front of you.
I don't know if there's a saying in Portuguese, but I'd rather be lucky than unlucky any day. My final question to hear for you before we let you do your shout outs. I know you race IndyCars a lot, and it's great to see an international presence taking a liking to IndyCars. But we're going to a track next week that maybe you haven't even raced an IndyCar at. What are your thoughts of racing an IndyCar at Rockingham?
Para mim será uma surpresa porque nunca andei nesta pista, né? Então não sei o que esperar, que estou torcendo muito para ser uma pista mais técnica, mas creio que não. Então uma pista que será muito perigosa, um grid muito grande, e creio que será uma corrida divertida ou não.
I really don't know what to expect because I've never driven in this track before. I don't know if it's a really technical track or whatever it is, but I don't know if it's gonna be a nice drive or not.
I think it might be a little bit of hang on to your butts. We'll see. But before we let you go, and of course in your own language, feel free to make any shout outs or hellos that you'd like to for getting on the podium, because you certainly earned it.
Queria agradecer muito a minha equipe Roncos eSports pelo apoio, Máximo por me ajudar aqui na entrevista. Queria muito agradecer a vocês pela oportunidade, pela transmissão, e agradecer mais uma vez a categoria Revolution e ao Christopher pelo grande trabalho que está fazendo na administração.
I would like to thank all my team from Juncos Racing, all of you guys for the interview, and Christian, I think it was, for the organization of the event and everything.
Well, congratulations on the podium. Great recovery. I'm sure you're going to be happy, but I'm sure you're probably tired now. So go ahead, celebrate, get some rest, and we will see you in a week. And Maxie, thanks for translating for us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Bruno.
All right, we do have a third place here. It's Nate. So let's go ahead and bring up Nate here. And I want to make sure that we're saying his name right. Hey, Nate, welcome to the booth. You got Ryan and Gary here. Just so I'll make sure I'm not offending a fellow Polak. It is Gruselski or is that I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gruselski.
Oh, Gruselski. Okay. All right. So good. I did us justice, and I didn't do you any in family insult there. So let's get on to. Well, first of all, welcome to the league. This is your first race, I believe. How'd you find out about us, and what are your thoughts of the first race? And then we'll get into the elephant in the room.
Yeah, thanks. No, it was really fun. One second, I'm gonna take my VR headset off.
Oh, sure.
No, I had a lot of fun. I found out about this league from Dan Neese. I'm on Blue Chew America's team, and we have a lot of fun racing. So he invited me to this, and I wanted to give it a shot. And so, yeah.
Well, welcome. Dan was doing pretty good for a while, and I think his tires gave out on him, and then eventually I think he had a little bit of an off there. But okay, so we'll just go ahead and get into the elephant in the room there, the battle for the lead. And really, I don't think, well, maybe you were watching your mirrors, and maybe you saw it coming. If I was in your shoes, I probably wouldn't have seen it coming, but you're going into the chicanes, and the next thing you know, you're getting punted. Your thoughts there, and did you see it coming, or was it kind of unexpected?
Yeah, so with the corkscrew incident, I don't really know what happened there. I watched the replay, and I had clear track, and I thought I had the corner was mine. And I was on blacks, and I'm new to the IndyCar, so but I didn't know that the blacks were going to be quite slow at the beginning of the stint. And so I was just trying to hold him up, but I thought I had the corner into the corkscrew, and I guess he misjudged it, trying to go around the outside, and he took me out. But so I just tried getting back on track and trying to get P2. So then the other incident, I made a move around him. I think it was the main straight. We were side by side all the way through the carousel, and then I got in front of him. And I didn't think he was going to make the move, so I didn't defend it. And even braking, I kind of glanced up at the mirror and saw him, but I still kind of turned in, not thinking he'd be there. But we made slight contact, and it didn't look like he was going to make the corner, but I guess he did at the end of the day. So I don't know. It's just racing. So.
Yeah, you guys might have not gotten the win today, but you certainly put on a show.
Yeah, no, it was very fun. Very fun.
Ryan, you got questions?
I'd say the only question I have is obviously the incident you just talked about happened on lap 41. Heading into that lap, the end of 40, Schaeffer gets really loose in the last sector, and it looks like you're about to rear end him. You check up a bit, it looks terrifying. Did you have, besides, his rear end stepping out, did you think that if you had to get around him, it had to be, in that moment or in, the next lap prior, the next lap afterwards?
Yeah, no, I knew I had to make the move soon, because I knew eventually the blacks would start to kind of fall away. But my friend who was in there with me, he was saying just kind of try and be a little bit patient, but he was really loose and really struggling, and I had to run down into I forget the hole, I think.
Yeah, turn 1, yeah.
And so he just kept getting loose, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and make a move. And then coming out of the final corner, I was like, gonna be side by side with him, and I wanted to make sure I gave space in the T1, and we were side by side, and so I tried setting myself up in the carousel to have a really good exit, and I did. I kind of just blew past him. So no, it was I noticed those reds were not doing too hot, so
yeah. Oh man, but hopefully this is not the last time we see.
Yeah, no,
you
definitely
at the
not.
front.
This car is really fun, and it was crazy.
So that's my next question is, for those that have struggled in these cars, it's pretty sickening to hear a guy, I just got in this car and took it to a pole position and then took it to a pole position and a near win. But that's on a road course. Unlike other open wheelers of the world, these guys race on ovals as well. And we are going to a track that, it showed up on the IndyCar schedule one time way back in the late 70s, early 80s, and they ended up canceling it. They never raced there. It is a traditionally, I don't even think they use it anymore, but it was traditionally a NASCAR track. It's right at a mile, just over a mile in length, but it has a lot of banking and everything. It's the Rock. I don't assume that you've ever raced at it. If you have, you probably haven't done it in an IndyCar, but your thoughts about an IndyCar at the Rock?
Yeah, hopefully I can make it. I wanna try and make it. It'll be my last week at home before I have to leave for a little bit. But no, I'll definitely have to do hours of practice for that, because I'm definitely not an oval driver. So, and also with the whole IndyCar thing, I didn't mean to sound too cocky, but I've done a lot of laps. It's just the actual wheel-to-wheel racing I don't have too much experience with, and that was exhilarating. So definitely want to get a lot more of that in. So
it's all right to be cocky. It's all right. I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
It's an incredible car. I mean, it's definitely one of my favorites on the platform.
Well, I mean, next week it'll be a whole kind of a different experience, not just the oval, but you'll have the weight jacker, which you don't have on the road courses, and then of course no push to pass. You don't have to worry about two different compounds of tires, but you have to kind of put up with the dreaded aero push, especially when these cars are on ovals. So you might find it to be a bit of a different car next week, but it should be an interesting show, and we thank you for joining the league. We thank you for being a part of it, and we definitely hope to see you next week. Before we let you go, though, you did earn a spot in the podium, so we always give everyone that makes the interview an opportunity to give shout-outs, thanks to anybody they like. So go ahead, the mic is yours.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out my Blue Chew boys. Yeah, we have a great team, great atmosphere, and yeah, I'm going to shout them out. So.
All right. Well, there you have it. Congratulations. Again, not the win. Kind of did some wheel banging with some competitors, but you did get the purple lap. You did get the pole, and you got a podium. So not a bad debut at all. So congratulations, all things considered, and we hope to see you next week.
Thank you. I think it was the other Nate that got the pole.
I can't remember. I just remember seeing both green cars coming down, and I was just let's see.
No, it was actually Bruno.
Was it Bruno? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Bruno had the pole because he was down one and you were down one, but you still got the purple lap. So all things considered, not too bad. So congrats, and we'll see you in a week.
Great, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I swear he had the pole, but I was wrong. It was Bruno actually got the pole. You're right. I remember reading the stats now. So I should give Bruno all the credit in the world there. He'll remind me that I didn't give him credit for that pole. Bruno got the pole, everybody. Well, turn it over to you. Real quick, final thoughts on, and so we can close the book on Barber, and then I'll let you talk about the Rock a little bit.
Oh dear. Well, when it came to this race at Barber, it had absolutely everything. It was like an actual IndyCar race at Barber, but just turned up to 11. We got action at the front most of the way through the race. We didn't really know what the podium was going to be until the last couple laps. It's something that you always love to see in road racing.
And the Rock?
Oh, the Rock. It is... On paper, Rockingham Speedway seems like a place that IndyCar should have gone to at some point in time. It is exactly a mile in length, something that harkens back to, USAC IndyCar's heritage of racing at mile-long state fairgrounds. Mm-hmm. And, eventually it was remodeled into a high-banked 1 mile oval, fairly similar to the intermediate tracks that littered the IRL in the first decade of the century, and you'd assume they could have run during that time, but they didn't. It seems like a place that is made for IndyCar, but IndyCar just hasn't gone, probably because of the state it's in.
That's true. Before we read off here the final standings, I got to go back. It's in the IndyCar subreddit on Reddit. Someone posted that, and I have to go back and find this, that if IndyCar has ever been to the Rock, it's an older question, it's been there a while, and one of the respondents said that Gordon Johncock went there in '79 to test. And I think he was with, Johncock was with Pat Patrick then, but I was told that he might have had a Penske car then. I don't know. I have to go back and look and find out if I can't find out anything on it though. There's like no records, nothing, no pictures, no Rockingham, North Carolina news magazine or newspaper clippings of IndyCars coming to race. Here none of that. So all it is just a Reddit post about Gordon Johncock going there and saying that at the time those cars were suited for the track. So keep in mind, though, that those are now 40-year-old cars, and it's a far different beast nowadays with these newer cars. So we might see a bit of a different experience with the sim racers when they step out of the car than what two-time Indy 500 winner Gordon Johncock said when he went there to test sometime in the late 70s, early 80s. But we shall see. It's going to be interesting. I've actually been asking RIL to put it on the schedule just to kind of see. It'd be something interesting to keep these guys on their toes, because we always go to the Texases and the Indies and the Homesteads and the Phoenixes and the Iowas, and it's always good to kind of throw in a curveball there. And I think this season's curveball will be the Rock. But let's get out of here really quick. But before we do want to talk about the final standings from today's race. Nicholas Johnson first, Bruno Miranda second. Nate Gruselski, he finished third, and we want to welcome him to the lead. Nate Seifert, P4. Hunter Ingrave, P5. Dakota DeMade, P6. Justin Miller, great finish, P7. JJ Wang, great finish on his part, P8. Christian Jasper, starting from the pits, I believe. Great finish, P9. Ryan Freeman, P10. That rounds out your top 10. Your top 15, the boss man, Matt Houston. Nicholas Isidro, who started from EOL, gets up to 12. Matt Cosgrove with a getting it in very late in qualifying, brings it from a 29th to a 13th. Jeremy Lopanis, 14th, and Kyle Gretsch here in 15th. And I again hope I'm saying his name right. Next page, and this was a huge field, folks. If it will go to the next page, come on. We might just do the top 15. There it is. Aaron Moss, Christopher Crespi, Jonathan Libertor, Derek Smith, Dan Marrero, your top 20. Your top 25, Ben Carswell, Wes Shire, Matthew Johnston, Christopher Hill, and Dan Neese. Your top 25 there. Your top 30, Peter Donchek, Drew White, James Watson, Dan Miglin, and Shane Coogan. And rounding out the remainder of the field here, if I can get the overlay to cooperate with me, Logan Spath, Will Weisbrod the third, and Joshua Tucker. DNQ for Caleb Morrissey, Matt Weber, Maxon Oberauer, and Joseph Desiro. All right, well, let's get on out of here. Give everyone back their Wednesday nights, because I think there's some other folks that we got Lionheart IndyCar here, I think, later tonight, so some folks need to jump over to start getting ready for that. So that's it for tonight. So let's wrap this up. Once again, your podium from Barber Motorsports Park is Nicholas Johnson, Bruno Miranda, and Nate Gruselski. Join Race First again next Wednesday as we coming to you from The Rock. That's for the Carolina 300. That's round 3 of the Revolution IndyCar League Schaeffer IndyCar Series. That's next Wednesday night, roughly around 7:45 Eastern Time, right here at YouTube on youtube.com/racefirst. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support Race First with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. This is tonight's race, and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. Pretty much just like this. Let's get that track map off there. And if you're new, click subscribe and hit the bell, just like this, so you don't miss out on more of Race vs. iRacing programming, including our weekly Monday night Indy Fix Top Split coverage and our Tuesday coverage of the Race vs. Formula Indy Series starting in July, and on NTT IndyCar Race Series weekends, our Friday coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Top Split. Hitting the bell will guarantee that you're always getting the correct time, day, and everything else in your area. Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth coverage of IndyCar and all of iRacing. Race vs. We know what Indy means. Revolution IndyCar League, the IndyCar Series naming rights paid for by Schaeffer Oil. Racing is in their bloods, what they love. At Schaeffer, their racing products help keep racing teams on the track and spending less resources on replacing parts and changing fluids. Designed for extreme performance, Schaeffer's racing lubricants reduce friction, wear, and heat. Season after season, racers depend on Schaeffer's racing products to keep their cars always ready for the next season or the next race. Check out schaeffersoil.com, where you can search for the nearest retailer today, or click on their link in the broadcast description below. For business inquiries and learn more about what we do at RaceFirst, visit racefirst.com or follow us on Twitter. And I do not have our Twitter stuff yet in our overlay, but I will throw up our IIS Twitter here. You can follow those of us on IIS right there. So, for Ryan, Eric King, everyone at RaceFirst, I am Gary Gosling saying to all, thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Thanks again, everyone, and catch us again next week at The Rock for the next race of the Revolution IndyCar League's Schaeffer IndyCar Series. Good night.